for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Radio Shack, the technology store. America's leader in consumer electronics. By your Toyota dealer. Whatever car or truck you choose, you'll love the quality. Who could ask for anything more? And by True Value Hardware. For quality, selection, and personal attention, make True Value Hardware your store of first choice. It's the final stop on the PBA's Fall Tour. And here are the top 5 qualifiers. Philip Ringener goes for his first PBA title. There's Brian Boss. He set a new single-season money record. Roger Bowker, a part-time player on tour, has only 1 win in 12 years. Walter Ray Williams makes his 9th championship-around appearance of the year. And Danny Ferraro has qualified first for the 2nd week in a row. Welcome to the Taylor Lanes, Taylor, Michigan, on the outskirts of Detroit. Happy to have you with us. The Touring Players Championship. Jay Randolph, along with Hall of Famer Earl Anthony. $23,000 the first prize, and a good fivesome here.
We have an excellent fivesome. Unfortunately, Walter Ray Williams, who is in second place, is still in a slump. That's what he's telling me anyway. But we have 4 champions on the telecast today. Brian Boss, who has, it looks like, Bowler of the Year locked up, Jay. And, of course, the one non-champion, Phil Ringener, who is really looking for that first victory, not only as a champion, but on television, period.
Boss has a chance to be a 3-time winner on tour if he can go all the way today. And we look forward to the action with you. This, the final stop on the PBA Fall Tour. Let's get to the play. And it's Philip Ringener and Brian Boss. Boss there on the right. Boss out of Seattle, Washington. His 10th championship round appearance of the year, tops the PBA, and he qualified 4th with that 217 average. And he doesn't get the 7-pin. Brian has received a $25,000 performance bonus. That put him over the top as the all-time single-season money winner. In great form.
He's a classic stylist, Jay. If you want to model your game after anybody out here, this would be the guy you'd want to pick. Great balance, and he can throw the ball as hard as anybody. He can actually overpower the lane condition.
Here is Ringener. 5'11", 215 out of Big Spring, Texas. And always been a hard luck time for this fella. 0-6 in championship round appearances. And he's come up against some toughies, it seems like. Nice start for Ringener, and a little injury problem last night as we bring you his biographical information. 9 years, a member of the PBA, and 30 years of age, and kind of banged up a ankle last night.
Well, he did something that's not uncommon for a lot of the really top players. He got a little bit ahead of the ball at the foul line, and as he brought the ball through, he hit his sliding foot. He hit himself in just behind the ankle in the heel area. And it really helped him, Jay. It slowed down his approach, slowed down his ball speed, and he started carrying the corners. Shot 2 tremendous games to make the telecast.
A little bit high with that, leaves the 4-7.
The lane condition this week is excellent. The surface is very good. The players, as you see, repeated that shot. And watch how hard this ball grips the lane right there. Makes a left turn, goes a little high on the headpin. The headpin goes up and over the 4-7. That's how hard the ball is hitting. There's a back end near the pin area where the ball makes its turn to the pins. It's very dry. So, excuse me, the ball is really gripping the lane, and it's hitting very hard. You see a lot of strikes this week.
Well, we had 5 300 games here this week. And of course, friends at True Value Hardware give $100,000 for a perfect game here at the Taylor Lanes today. $23,000 the first prize. Boss, the PBA's pinup boy for many years, now at age 30, coming into his own as one of the greats. Strike on lane 40 for Boss. He's going to be the bowler of the year. I wonder what it means to him. We ask him.
Well, winning bowler of the year, is something I dreamed of my entire life. I hope now I can kind of keep things in perspective and keep going. I've obtained a lot of goals, but now I got to look ahead. What else can I do? And I hope that I just keep doing well.
Trying to go from the number 4 spot to win his 7th PBA title. Oh boy, he cringed as he left the 10. Set a single season money record this year on tour after picking up that $25,000 performance bonus.
And here is one of the problems with having that extra ball speed. You see the ball coming behind the head pin, that's what they call the weak 10. And watch the ball speed here. He's zipping down the lane over the 10 pin. Cut down that hook. No one throws the ball harder out here than Phil Ringener. And when he hit himself in the heel last night with that ball, it had to really hurt. As you get a good look at Phil's wife here, Jill Ringener. Phil and Jill.
That's a little high and
Almost got the break, Jay.
yes, he did.
Tripped out to 4, leaving the 7 only. Did you see the ball? Watch the head pin. Go to the wall. Actually, now watch, here it comes across. Takes the 4 forward. Could have been a split. He's very fortunate there. He's still suffering a lot of pain because of hitting himself in the ankle. And, as you see him walk back, he's limping.
We talked about that 0-6 record in the TV finals, and we asked him why it's been tough.
The reason I don't have success on television is they've averaged 250 at me, and hopefully today that I can put 4 victories together to win the tournament today.
Sounds like a Texan. Big Springs is home, and you remember he was at our first stop on the fall tour at Rochester, the top seed.
Almost an identical shot as before. This time, instead of the 4 tripping out, he trips out the 7. Phil is, he looks like he's trying to fit the ball a little bit, and when you try to fit the ball, you really don't get that good fluid motion that gives you the proper speed each time. Here again, you see the ball making that sharp break on the end. Almost the split again. Almost had the 10 pin along with the 4-7. And he's lucky to get the 7 to fall out. Easier spare. A lot of speed. Cross lane. Boom.
At this point in the proceedings, Boss is leading by 2. They'll be back right after this.
For the pride, for the dream, for the love, and for the team, for the wind that comes from the heart, for the skill that sets you apart, for the sweat and for the drive, for the reason you strive, for all you do. This was for you, for the hope and for the pride, for that fire inside.
For all you do, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood aged Budweiser.
This was for you.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Hurry, hurry! You gotta see Toyland.
Radio Shack's Christmas Toyland means battery-operated toys for all ages. Like a new speed loop race with magnetized cars that stay on the track. Or this easy-to-play 13-key sing-along rock guitar complete with its own microphone. Get rolling with this remote-controlled super skate.
Radio Shack has all the toys on their Christmas list.
Battery-operated toys from $2.59 only at Radio Shack.
Here's the way the prize money stacks up in this Budweiser Touring Players Championship. Just moments ago, in the 5th frame, Brian Boss a little high, left the 6-10. Picks up the spare.
Neither player really being able to take the advantage so far in the match, Jay, and it looks like it's going to open up soon because I think both players are going to make an adjustment. They've both been high on several shots, And I look for both of them to make a little move to the inside. In other words, stand a little farther left on the approach, use a little more arc in the shot, and start hitting that pocket and get some strikes.
Oh, and he got it.
That's the move I was talking about, Jay, and that's what we're looking for. Both these players very experienced and both capable of making the adjustments when they need to. Here's another look at that shot now. He's a little deeper into the lane. You can see he's arcing the ball out near the channel, bring it back, watch the pin action, watch the hit pin, go to the wall, come all the way across the lane. Good break for Ringener, tough break for Bran.
Ringener now in the lead. A very tight match.
Good adjustment there still, Jay. As you saw him in the previous frame, he got the pin action off the wall. He tried to keep the ball a little bit higher in the pocket on this one. He did move more to the center of the lane. You see the ball breaking very sharply, much better than his previous shot on this lane. Only the 4-pin. That is the ball. When you leave the 4-pin, the ball's entering the pocket at the right angle to strike. So he's lined up now. And what that means to Brian Boss sitting on the bench, I better get something going.
If you ask him what he'd like for Christmas, he'd like an early gift. Finally win a game on TV.
One at a time. That's what he's thinking. If I can win this one, maybe I can win the next one.
That's right. $23,000, the first prize. Remember, later today on SportsWorld, the $100,000 bowling shootout. An exciting format for the greatest in the game. And Earl Anthony, one of them.
Now, Brooklyn hit for Voss. And a big break right there. He tried to overpower the lane. Remember earlier I mentioned that Brian is capable of overpowering the lane. He got away with this here. Did you see the reaction on his face? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, safe. If I can just make that work for me. Safe is a good analogy, Jay. He really got away with something there. It's a big break for him. If he can take advantage of that, he has a chance to take the lead here. On a strike, 7th frame. He has to make an adjustment. He can't do it with speed. The lanes are just hooking too much. He has to move to the center of the lane. That's what he's looking for.
Boss is up by 9. More action from Taylor, Michigan in a moment.
Meet your next truck. A truck for 89. The all-new Toyota V6 4x4 SR5, the most advanced V6 engine in its class. All new, on-the-move four-wheel demands. And a brand new look that says Toyota quality.
It's everything I ever wanted.
Toyota, who could ask for anything more? Once you hear it, you gotta get near it. There's a whole lot of nothing going on. You want a snack? You gotta get that back. There's a whole lot of nothing going on.
Incredibly delicious and so full of energy, Planters nuts are one irresistible snack.
Once you hear it, you gotta get near it. There's a whole lot of nothing going on. Planters.
Need help?
Yeah, and I've got 10 minutes to get to the radio station.
Here's the problem.
Kellogg. Easy to wear, hard to resist.
And for that great smelling guy who started my car, I get off at 6.
Dad, is there any way you could send the money today?
To send money fast, come to Western Union. It'll get to any of our 10,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less. Keep in touch. Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
Here's the scoreboard in the Budweiser Tournament Players Championship, and this just moments ago, Phil Ringener
here in the 8th frame. Through the nose, still hasn't got his speed up where he normally is. He's just not getting that power that he gets out of his legs to go up to the speed he needs to overpower this hooking lane condition. And it might be due to that injury, Jay, that he hit himself last night, and it's really affected him. I talked to him earlier about that, and he says it does hurt just getting to the foul line.
Big benefactor in today's telecast was Voss, leading candidate, as we've mentioned, for the 88 PBA Player of the Year. And when Ringener struck in the 10th position, this is a strike for Voss. He came through to beat Ted Hanna's and go around Joe Berardi by 5 pins last evening. And Earl Berardi was the closest competitor to Voss in the race because he has won 3 titles. Now, Brian can make it 3, of course, today. Here's Voss up by 21.
Oh, that's 4 in a row for Brian.
And he's showing you why he's the leading candidate for gold of the year. Brian Voss, very difficult to beat in match play, very seldom beats himself. Puts a lot of pressure on his opponents. As you watch the reaction of Brian Voss, that last shot, he knew he rolled it well. He's running it out, and you see the crowd reaction as well. And it looks like we're going to keep the record on top.
Unfortunately, they're coming through with a strike there in the 9th.
Still a match. It's not over.
He's got a possible 216.
Possible 216 right at this point. Brian Voss going at a 227 pace. If Phil Ringener can fill in the 10th, get all 3 strikes, it will make Brian Voss at least get a mark, some kind of a strike.
Hurry. Oh, how about that?
Unfortunately,
bring it out. He said,
I don't help you much, Joe.
Well, I know the folks down in Texas are rooting for him to get off the Schneider, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen today.
The Schneider?
Yep. You don't play much gin rummy, do you?
Well, obviously, if that's what you're...
Well, we could say, too, it's been an albatross around his neck. He can't win on TV. This is going to make it 0-7 for this fella.
And it's a shame. Phil's one of the nicest guys out here.
Really
He's played
is.
extremely well for a couple of years, and this is his best year ever. He's had an opportunity several times to become a winner, and it just hasn't been his chance to do it.
His earnings are going to go to nearly $50,000 on the year as he'll take down $2,500, finishing 5th in this $135,000 Touring Players Championship. And Voss looking very, very tough here today.
I really feel that injury to his ankle, talking about Phil Ringener, did affect his play today because it's very stiff and sore.
Another Brooklyn.
I think he figures he's found something there, Jay. What do you think?
Why not? He's over there on your side, Earl.
Yeah, but he's carrying better than I do. He doesn't want to be there, Jay. I'll guarantee you that. And right now, he's thinking, I got to find something before that next match. He's going to make a little experiment here. He's going to move over and try a different angle. Try to get lined up for the next match. It's a much better match than Voss. Yeah, it's a much better match than the score shows. It was close all the way through the first 6 or 7 frames, and Brian strung that 5-bagger, and that was pretty much the match along about the 8th frame because Mr. Ringener just couldn't get it going today.
Voss finishes at 236, had 6 strikes in the match, and he defeats Philip Ringener. The final here, 236 to 195. So Voss will be moving on to go against Roger Bowker, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, Mark, I see you got one of those rhinos. Next thing you know, he's going to tell us it's got horns.
Unleash your game. Roll a rhino. The Rhino from Brunswick, a urethane ball designed for professional and high-performance bowlers.
Announcing a dramatic breakthrough in shaving technology. The new Remington Microscreen Ultimate shaves as close as a blade and closer than any other electric shaver, or your money back. The Ultimate's exclusive beard lifter gets whiskers other shavers leave behind. And like all Remington Microscreen shavers, the first screen shaves incredibly close, the second even closer. Try the new Remington Ultimate now. It will shave you as close as a blade and closer than any other electric shaver, or your money back.
no matter what you do, I said I'll be there for you. You can depend on me, yeah. Feel the power of the friend, for the time and time again. You can depend on me.
New improved Kodak batteries last longer than ever. So when you need us, we'll be there.
You can depend on me.
New Kodak batteries. Depend on us to last longer.
Along with Earl Anthony, Jay Randolph, and our top 24 here this week. As we always do on our coverage of the fall tour, we bring you up to date on the top 24 cashier. Steve Wonderlick from St. Louis, George Pappas out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
And all the players want to have a good end of the year. They look forward to starting next year, but they want to finish well, Jay. You can see, as you know, this is the Touring Players Championship. It's one of the more important events to these particular players on the tour, because these are guys that are out here every week trying to make a living.
And Hannah's picking up 3,500. Bob Hanley, he's been going good of late. Joe Berardi, three-time winner. Joe's having a fine year. He finished on bubble number 6. Brian Voss against Roger Bowker. Match 2 coming up from the Taylor Lanes in just a moment.
Today's holiday wishes can come true with the hardware gift circular from True Value Hardware Stores, where you'll find toolbox essentials like the Master Mechanic 17-piece 1/4-inch drive standard socket set for only $8.88. This Service 3-piece solid joint plier set is just $9.49. And this Master Mechanic Precision Ground 3-piece wood chisel set is only $9.99 at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
Sometimes they have it all. Sometimes are just too big. Sometimes they have them all. Sometimes you just have to rain.
Don't wait for something good to happen. Make it happen with the clean, masculine scent of English leather cologne.
Some guys have what others want. Some guys have it all.
English leather. Some guys have it all. Oh, look at me back in the 60s, working up a sweat. Oh, and that's how I used to pump iron. Not today. Today we're exercising more and eating less red meat. But red meat is a great source of iron.
Only Kellogg's Bran Flakes has high fiber and 100% of the iron recommended today.
So now I pump a little iron outside and inside. Yeah, I haven't felt this good since I burned that bathing suit.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes. The game's high rollers.
America's top bowlers.
In a high-stakes showdown.
Lisa Wagner.
Earl Anthony. Mark Roth. And Marshall Holman. Together they're the game's 10-pin Terminators.
The bowling shootout.
Today, only on NBC.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, take a tip. Stay with us this afternoon on NBC. The greatest bowlers in history going head-to-head in a high-stakes showdown, the $100,000 shootout. Lisa Wagner, my partner Earl Anthony, Mark Roth, and Marshall Holman squaring off. A unique roll-off. The stakes increase as the pins go down in that one. And we've got light heavyweights going eye to eye. Ramsey Hassan and Michael Moorer, scheduled 12-rounder. Right now we've got a scheduled match 2 between Voss and Bowker.
And Bowker's got one of the best records ever on television, Jay. As you know, he's only bowled one game, and that was for the title, and he won it.
Batting 1,000.
Batting 1,000.
Voss with the win over Ringener.
Let's see if Brian has made the adjustments. He's definitely made a good shot there to start the match day. He wants to put the pressure on Bowker early. He's got a lot more experience than Roger Bowker has, and that's what an experienced player tries to do. He tries to make the other guy feel a little nervous, a little out of sorts, keep him from getting that edge too early in the match.
Roger from one of the real beautiful areas in the state of Florida, Ocala.
Short. That one just got completely away from him. Jay fell off his hand. That's not the way Roger wants to release the ball. It's not anywhere near his normal release. Let's take a look at his approach. It's very Watch the last three. Very quick steps. And the ball just came off his hand early and had no chance.
And he's going after the 1, 2, 8, 10.
A good spare shot. And how good is that? That's about as good as you're going to get.
Yes, indeed. He came all the way from 26 here this week after the third round.
See a replay of that, Jay. Now watch the head pin go right over and take out the 10. Perfect cover. Pretty fair shot for a guy that's got to be nervous. Only his second time on television. Did you see the reaction? Nothing to it. Very casual reaction there.
Labels himself as a weekend warrior because of his regional competitions through the years.
A weekend warrior, huh? Like the National Guard?
Not exactly like the National Guard. He doesn't have to carry a rifle, but
well, he might need it to pick up this spare, Jay. This is tougher than the last one. The washout in the first frame, which he covered. Did you see the ball go through the middle of the headband, the 4, 6, 7? The only chance he has to pick this one up is to throw the ball extremely hard at the 4, 7. Hope he can bounce one of the pins out of the pit. Didn't happen.
Roger's parents are here. Mel and Betty Bowker. John Jolly there, right in the middle of your screen, a PBA Hall of Famer.
And he has the strongest jaws I've ever seen. Jay, he carries around a cigar in his teeth that must weigh about 5 pounds.
They are jumbo. And he leaves the 10. That is what you call a big man cigar.
That's a fungal bat. That's not a cigar. That's unbelievable. If he ever lights that up, Jay, they'll empty this place.
They'll have to. The fire marshal will be in here fast.
All right, Brian Voss at the 10 pin. A lot of speed, cross lane. Brian still struggling with lane 40 here, 39 and 40 being the championship here, and Brian has yet to line up on lane 40. He feels comfortable on lane 39 at this point, but lane 40 is still giving him some problems.
Well, it's a high game of 279 this week, and he averaged 214 on the TV pair. Strike. We mentioned that Voss is setting a new single-season earning mark, breaking Mike Alby's 1985 record of 201,000 plus. Here again is Roger Bowker.
All right, I expect Roger to get going very quickly here, Jay. Now, he's had his 2 frames to get loose and get accustomed to the lights, and he is a good clutch player. Right in the pocket, right where he wanted it. Just an unfortunate break, the solid 10. That'll make him feel a little more comfortable now. The match should get a little bit better as we go along, a little closer. Just take a look at the delivery, the style, very deliberate style, and three very quick steps at the end. And he really demonstrates that bowling is a 3-step game.
Bowker as the underdog in this year's Greater New Orleans Classic down in Harvey, Louisiana, captured his first PBA title. Ernest Granger. At the moment, he's down by 14 here in match 2 against Brian Voss. This fella really gave the tour a shot to gain experience, learn, and hopefully to make some money.
He is one of the better regional players, as you mentioned, Jay.
And he comes through with the strike. Voss and Bowker going at it. Bowker down by 14. Now this from your local station.
Sunday, when the sun goes down, the Steelers take on the Houston Oilers. Don't miss Steelers Prime Time tomorrow at 8, right here on Channel 11.
Sunday only, fantastic art at starving artist prices. Thousands of gallery quality original oil paintings by professional artists. Giant sofa-sized paintings sold elsewhere for hundreds of dollars as low as $19. Smaller paintings as low as $7. Absolutely no painting over $39. Quality art at rock-bottom starving artist prices. Fantastic art this Sunday only. Royce Hotel, Pittsburgh Airport, and the Radisson Hotel, Pittsburgh in Monroeville. Fantastic art this Sunday only, 11 to 4.
Time runs out at 10 p.m. tonight. It's the final hours of the Night Day Spectacular Sale at Value City, featuring a $180,000 special purchase. Ladies Famous Maker Fleece separates, not $25 to $35, only $9.99. $160,000 special purchase. Ladies Package Shirts from Zero, not $32, only $5.99. $360,000 buyout from Northern Lights. Ladies Turn Lights, not $8, only $2.99. Thousands of store-wide savings. Remember, time runs out at 10 p.m. tonight. The Night Day Spectacular Sale at all Value City department stores.
Hello, I'm Emil Pecori Jr. of Pecori and Pecori Attorneys at Law. If you've been injured in an accident, please pay attention to this. If we don't win your case, you don't have to pay legal fees. Personal injury, wrongful death, industrial accidents, workman's compensation, defective products, wills and estates. Pecori and Pecori Attorneys at Law, 471-6262.
Steelers prime time tomorrow at 8 on Channel 11.
Roger Bowker in the 5th. That's right, for Bowker after Boss got a spare in the 4th and struck in the 5th. The top two qualifiers is Dave Ferraro, Walter Ray Williams. He'll be seen in a little while.
Still in a slump.
I'm
not going to let him off the hook on that.
Let him off the hook. You're right. He's in pretty good shape, Walter Ray, for a man who's in a slump.
All right, 4 pins separating these two great players. 6th frame, Roger Bowker on a double. You see the scoreboard. Oh, and a big break there, Jay. That could have been disaster. The 4-7-10 was standing. Only the 4 left. Roger got a little soft with the shot. You see the ball breaking sharply on the end, going through the middle of the hitman. Watch what happens in the corner. Take a look at this reaction, Roger. Oh, my. And what a break. He's very comfortable with that. Now, oh my, that was a surprise for him there. You know what happens a lot of times, Jay? The players have 30 minutes to warm up on the television pair before we go on the air. And many times, all they'll practice are strike balls. And the experienced players, like a Brian Voss or Marshall Holman, someone of that caliber who's been on a number of times, will practice some spares so they get a feel of what the lanes are going across lanes. A lot of times, the guys that don't get on very often, because Roger Bowker's only his 2nd appearance, they don't practice their spares. They're liable to miss one of the easy spares just because they're not familiar with the other side of the lane.
Insight from a legendary left-hander, Hall of Famer Earl Anthony, sitting in with us again this year, our 5th year on NBC Sports with a fall tour. And it's been a most enjoyable 1988.
Tough spare here, Jay. The 2-8. Ball must cover both of the pins. And he missed it.
And he knew it.
And again, the lane surface here is a good surface, but it is a track shot. As the ball hits that dry area between the 2nd and 3rd arrow, see it grip the lane, take off across the lane. Sharp break. Takes the 2 pin only, leaving the 8. A big break for Roger Bowker. He's in the lead. Sitting on the bench, he takes the lead.
Don't forget the shootout coming up on SportsWorld. Boss with the 10 pin standing down there, a little concerned at this point.
Well, I think he's more confused and concerned, Jay. It's still Brian's match to win if he can get it going. Roger Bowker hasn't really done anything to get lined up and look spectacular out there, but Brian just can't seem to find lane 40. He's been extremely, really good with his shots on lane 39. Lane 40 has been completely confused, and it could start affecting his shots on lane 39.
We'll be back with more from Taylor, Michigan, right after these messages.
Nature's light, bathing fields of grain, enriching full, fresh hops, giving life to sparkling streams, nourishing all the natural things that go into making Bud Light. The light beer that's beechwood aged for a clean, fresh taste that makes Bud Light the one light that outshines them all.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas. This Christmas, I gave the grandkids Radio Shack radio-controlled cars. Bobby's Golden Arrow has racing suspension and speed to burn up the track. Kim's Turbo Wing Buggy has big tires and a crash-absorbing front bumper. And little Teddy revs up his Turbo Lamborghini.
Grandpa, there's dirt on my wheels. Mine too.
Old Santa must have taken him out for a little test drive. Remote radio-controlled toys from $9.95 to $119.95. Only at Radio Shack. When he's working. When his work is done. A man wants a jeans he can feel comfortable in. American Hero Jeans. From Wrangler.
Sunday, the NFL plays here when the Raiders battle the Broncos. Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL Live.
There's the way the money stacks up, as Voss in 88 has won $218,985. He's bowling in the 8th frame, lane 40, and it is high.
And he still hasn't figured out lane 40, Jay. We keep coming back to that, but that's the key to the match for Brian. If he can't get anything going on 40, and it surprises me. Brian is a very experienced professional. If you see a replay of that shot, ball goes very high in the hip and almost crosses over as he did earlier in his first match against Phil Ringiner and got away with it. 2 strikes that way. This is a tough spare. He's got to fit the ball between the 2 pins. The ball will take out both pins. Almost. Looks like it could be a short day for Brian Voss, the way things are going.
Voss winning over Ringiner, 236 to 195.
Watch how close he comes, Jay. Bowling is not just a matter of inches. Bowling is a matter of 16ths of inches, really. 60 feet away, it's tough to be that accurate for anybody. This is a must strike for Brian to save the match.
There's that 10 again.
And he made a good shot, and you can see the frustration on Brian's face. It's been a great year for him. This is the last tournament of the year. He wanted to close it out with a victory. See a replay of the great style of Brian Voss. And it runs the ball into the pocket, pin goes up and around the 10, the good solid 10. Not the scores I expected today, Jay. I really expected the players to adjust with the oil. As the oil carries down the lane, it makes them move, and it just doesn't seem like they're making the moves. And I expect the players that go straight to have a better shot today, and Bowker is one of those. And coming up, Walter Ray Williams, who goes very straight and is really tough to beat. And, of course, Dave Ferraro, who's led the last 2 weeks on the fall tour. The number 1 player. That's the shot.
Right there. Yes, Bowker. Well, this is a big opportunity for Bowker, of course.
Still undefeated on television.
It's only his 2nd year as a full-time pro, and he's having his best year in earnings. He's earned better than $57,000. He has a chance to knock off the man who most people expect to be bowler of the year, Brian Voss, here in the 2nd match.
Any kind of a mark in this frame, and Roger Bowker's winner. Spare strike. Oh my. Now this is a case of a ball actually hitting the pins too hard. It's amazing. The ball, watch the ball enter the pin area. Watch the head pin go up and over the top of the pins. Boom. Leave that 7 pin in the corner. You see the ball in the pit area, clear over by the 7 pin. The ball had no deflection at all. You need some deflection for the ball to strike.
Bowker is going to defeat Voss here and have a chance to move on. Second-seeded Walter Ray Williams.
Brian Voss, a little bit of frustration there, but it's been a great year, Jay. Best year ever for a player in a single season.
He's going to go right to the $225,000 mark.
That'll keep him happy through Christmas time, I think.
Bowker bangs them down. All the way from Rockford, Illinois. Bowker's parents, Al and Betty Bowker. They've got to be thrilled. 5 strikes for Bowker, a score of 195. Voss with the strike.
And did you see that strike he just threw on lane 40, Jay? He finally moved out where the other players, the ones that are going to score the best, the ones that go straight, are going to play. And Brian is very capable of playing that shot. I'm surprised he didn't try it earlier with his experience. And, he's a very cool customer under pressure. I'm surprised he didn't move out earlier. There he is with the double, and he hasn't been able to hit that lane all day. Look at the look on his face.
What? Where was that stroke a couple of frames ago, he's saying?
That's the thing about this sport. You never stop learning. There's always a new challenge. That's what makes it exciting for the players and hopefully for the spectators as well.
Now Voss finishing with 184. Bowker wins it with his 195. 6,500 added to Voss's winnings. And he'll be back with more of the Touring Players Championship after this.
Still big doings around here when the new models come in. Folks will be coming into my showroom. Make sure we've got what they're after. We listened long and hard. Put together just the cars they said they wanted. Word will get around pretty fast. Always does when it's good news.
GM dealers achieved higher customer satisfaction than any other U.S. automaker, according to a 1988 study by an independent research firm.
Over the last 6 years, the Angle Ball has been on a roll. It's taken home 2 PBA national titles, 2 Firestone Tournament of Champions titles, and 4 U.S. Open titles. In fact, the Angle Ball has won more tournaments and more first-place prize money than any other ball on tour. Imagine what the Angle Ball can do for you.
Harry, you don't want to end up in court? You better send the child to court.
I'm calling about your son Grover. You better send money. His ski trip's over.
Send the money now, you dig? Or we won't make our next gig.
To send someone money fast, come to Western Union. We'll make sure it gets to any of our 10,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less.
Cruising!
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
Relive the greatest moments on ice.
From the World Professional Figure Skating Championships.
A Christmas Day special for the entire family.
Only on NBC.
Well, you'll see Earl Anthony and Lisa Wagner and Marshall Holman and Mark Roth. The bowling shootout. $100,000. And the excitement will be very, very special in that one. Then there's boxing, of course. Michael Moore and Ramsey Hassan. SportsWorld coming up next on NBC this afternoon. Match 3. Roger Bowker going up against Walter Ray Williams Jr. Bowker defeating Voss 195 to 184. Along with Earl Anthony, Jay Randolph of the Taylor Lanes for the $135,000 Budweiser Train Players Championship. Bowker on the right, Williams on the left. Set to get underway in match 3.
short on that one, Jay. He leaves the washout, the 1, 2, 4, 10. We'll get a look at his footwork from behind now. He seems to be having trouble with the approach. Let's watch his footwork. Watch the slide point. Let's see how off balance he is there. He may be sticking at the foul line, Jay, and if he's doing that, it's really difficult to make good, consistent shots.
You mentioned earlier, and we saw him do very well as a spare shooter.
He's a tough shooter. You see, he did it again.
2 for 2, I'll tell you. That's outstanding play under pressure.
Here's a replay of that shot. Now watch this. It's perfect cover. The head pin goes across the lane, takes out the 10.
Walter Ray Williams, Jr. Opening with a strike. Lanky Stockton, California native at 6'2" and 180 pounds. He's won over 104,000 on tour this year. 222.3, the qualifying average. 25th career championship round appearance. And of course, an outstanding athlete in the world of horseshoe pitching as well as bowling.
Didn't quite get it up to the pocket, Jay, leaving only the 2, 4, and 8. Walter Ray, we talk about spare shooters. Here's a replay of that shot. Now watch him. He's very hard and straight with the ball. You see the ball trying to grip the lane and break into the pocket, whereas Brian Voss, who gets more turn or side spin on the ball, could make his break too much. Walter Ray couldn't quite get the ball back to the pocket. Here's an accurate spare shot.
There's Joe Antonora, the PBA's commissioner. Came over from Ohio to be with us today. Thanks to Joe, a wonderful fall tour, and his staff, tournament director Harry Golden. Couldn't live without Chuck Pisano, of course, our coordinator.
Little Caesar.
Bowker is high. Now we have time. We ought to mention, too, the tournament director's assistants, Johnny Campos and Mike Durbin, public relations director Kevin Shippey on the tour, the press director Mike Sands, broadcast director Jim Collins, lane maintenance supervisor Steve Cross, and Kerry Mogard, and of course Chuck Pierce, who does such a remarkable job with our stats.
Roger got a break on that shot. Only the 4-7 and recovers it very easily. Both players a little tentative at this point, but Roger still has not lined up where he's comfortable. By that I mean he hasn't decided where he wants to throw the ball, and he's really hasn't determined how he wants to throw the ball to keep it in the pocket area. Lanes are changing as they go on throughout the matches, as they always do. And right at this point, Walter Ray, I would say, he has the advantage because he can actually overpower the lane condition. He can throw the ball extremely hard and straight.
This man captured his first regional title way back in '77 in St. Louis when he was a Midwest player. Now out of Ocala, Florida.
Oh, that was a great shot. Sure. Remember in the frame previous, the first frame, when he started the match, he left the washout, picked it up, made a good adjustment, came right back and got the strike. Walter Ray Williams now, third frame.
Seems to be having a little trouble at the approach, too.
Yes, he is. Now, sometimes it's not the approach. Sometimes it's the player, Jay. And when you get a little bit fast, when you're trying to get that ball speed you want, you tend to rush the foul line, and you get off balance. And the ball, you don't get the lift you want on the ball, and it doesn't quite finish the way you want it to. So it's not always the surface, the approach surface. Sometimes it's the player. Now hurry.
Oh, we got a little kickback there.
I'll tell you what, right now, Walter Ray is feeling very good. He made a bad shot, got away with it. Now watch the 2-pin. Go to the wall, come off the sideboard. That's a break, folks.
And he knew that he got a very, very nice little bit of a pop there, using a different ball when he shoots the spares than he does when he goes for these strikes. And here we go in the fourth.
Walter Ray, again, throws the ball very hard. And if he doesn't get the ball off his hand precisely the way he wants to, it won't go into the roll. He needs to carry those corner pins, and that's what's called the weak 10. The ball just didn't quite grip the lane enough. And as you mentioned, Jay, he switches balls, goes to a very smooth, shiny ball, cross lane for spares. Again, a lot of speed.
Right now, Bowker is up by 2. Back with more in a moment.
Introducing Kodacolor Gold 100.
I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors.
New Kodacolor Gold 100 gives you the most accurate colors, the truest colors of any print film.
True colors from you like a rainbow.
Your man in Washington has come through.
The Americans will be most displeased. Observe. The argon-activated radioactive laser light.
Amusing Boris, but the party demanded Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Where is Boris? He is enjoying a cold one.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Now there's a baseball game with all the sounds, all the action, and the challenge of the real game. Introducing play-by-play talking baseball. The best game next to the real game.
Lady Stetson, you're free playing in the big leagues. Country proud with a fragrance all your own. Lady Stetson, an exciting blend of contrasts, like America itself. Lady Stetson.
Sunday, the NFL plays here when the Raiders battle the Broncos.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL Live.
Roger Bowker is down by 3. He was open in the 5th. He left a 4-6-7, couldn't convert. And now, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Lane 40. That 7 is still bobbling, but it wouldn't go down for him.
Walter has changed the way he's playing the lanes, Jay. He's obviously not happy with the first 4 frames, and he's made an adjustment. He's gone out near the channel, and he's trying to get the ball to hook a little more in the back end, and that could be trouble if he sets one a little short. Okay, here we go. Cross lane, a lot of speed again, switching balls.
For Williams, his 9th appearance. Only one other man who's been on TV more than that this year, Brian Boss, Bill, and Adeline DeBiase, the proprietors of the Taylor Lanes. Very hospitable folks. Always enjoy being here with them. Walter Ray is pleased with that.
Well, that's one of the benefits of going an end-over-end roll. Well, I mentioned that last week on the telecast. Walter Ray's ball goes into a heavy roll, but it's end-over-end. In other words, it's directly back toward the pit area. And you'll trip the 4-pin with that type of roll. You might leave some 10-pins, but you'll trip the 4.
That looked very, very good.
Again, coming in behind the head pin, that's why you see that weak 10. He rolled the ball well, he threw it the way he wanted to, but in order to keep the ball in line, he used a lot of speed. You can see the ball behind the head pin, deflecting, leaving the 10 pin as the pin lays in the channel. That's the 6 pin.
Co-proprietors of the Taylor Lanes, Leona and Ted Dobbins. It's been a big week here. Touring Players Championship. Pulled out Pro-Am.
Big mistake there, too. Big mistake.
In the channel, and Bowker is open and now down by 13.
You see him opening up at the foul line, trying to get the ball to slide down the lane. As you can see by the expression on his face, he knew he was in trouble and he released it. Look at him. Look at the reaction here, Jay.
Let it get away.
And in this type of a match where neither player seems to be able to get anything going as far as throwing strikes, that's a major mistake. quickly it turns around. Here he was in the 6th frame, only down by a few pins, threw what he thought was a great shot, leaving the 10 pin, then missed the easy spare. Comes back on lane 39 with an almost identical shot, leaving the 10 pin. I'll bet you he doesn't miss this one, Jay.
Bowker and Williams going at it. We'll be back to see how this one finishes up after this from your local stations.
An ugly crime, a quick execution, but 20 years later, it's happened again. I can't believe it. I'm looking. They arrested the wrong man, O'Connor and Rollins, in a heat of the night movie Sunday.
Who Done It? Brought to you by Bennett. Bo Jackson chose baseball over football, but then picked up football as a hobby. Can you name the last Heisman Trophy winner not to play pro football? Who done it?
Yesterday's cold was a bother, but nothing like fighting today's cold, which is complicated by stress, exhaustion, and pollution. Today's medicine for today's cold is new Benadryl Plus, with strength of Benadryl for sneezing, plus a maximum strength decongestant to help you breathe easier, plus a maximum strength pain reliever. Today's cold, demand new Benadryl Plus. Today's medicine for today's cold.
The last Heisman Trophy winner not to choose pro football opted instead for a military career. Former Army star, Brigadier General Pete Dawkins.
Pittsburgh's Bowling Fest, tomorrow at 10:30 here on Channel 11.
Here's a look at Walter Ray Williams here in the 8th frame. After leaving the 10 pin in the 7th frame, he comes right back, almost gets the love tap, leaves the 10 pin again. Both players still struggling, trying to find a way to get the ball to enter the pin area, the pocket area, at the proper angle to strike. And it's either an adjustment in the rotation of the ball or an adjustment in speed, because they can't really move on the lane surface. They're locked into one area that's playable.
There is John Conte, who is the Michigan division manager of Anheuser-Busch. Folks at Anheuser-Busch, of course, doing so much for the bowling world.
Down by 12, 8th frame. And that's disaster. After missing the 10 pin here in the frame, the 6th frame, and making 2 great shots in a row to leave 10 pins, he comes up with a 4, 6, 7, and at this point, it really puts Walter Ray Williams in the driver's seat. He'll go for 2 pins. The count. After last week's match, where Walter Ray lost 257 to 255, this has to feel kind of like a little bit of a breather for him, Jay. Even though he's struggling, he has to get lined up for that next match, the championship match.
And there's the man waiting in the wings, Dave Ferraro. Our championship match will be uninterrupted, as always, on NBC Sports coverage of the Fall Tour.
And a very disappointed and disgusted Roger Bowker at this point, knowing the match is basically out of hand, almost looking like he's just trying to finish out the match. And the scores have been extremely low, Jay.
Yes, they have.
This was one of the lowest scoring pairs during the week, but I still expected, by watching the players warm up, better scores than this. I'm surprised.
Bowker averaged 203 on the TV pair. Walter Ray Williams, 232. Bowker finishing 3rd with $8,000. Nice payday for this fella who is not what you would call a regular out here.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
Looks like they're trying to find a way to give it away here, Jay. Both players struggling, and here's Walter Ray trying to really force the ball down the lane. It grips a little early, goes up high on the head, 4, 7, 10. He's looking the score over. As you can see, Walter Ray is very concerned at this point. What he's trying to decide is whether he should try to make this fair or just take the 2 pins, depending on the count. Right now, if I were Walter Ray, I'd take the 2 pins.
That's exactly what he's doing. Greg is up by 12. He's up by 12.
That's the key right there. And when we're talking about taking the 2 pins, if he went for the spare and should miss both those pins,
right,
the difference in his score would have been 158 instead of 160 in the ninth. Well, that would have put Roger Bowker back in the match. Now, any kind of a mark, good count, and Walter Ray wins the match.
That's good enough. That's good enough. There's that little love tap we talked about. That's the 6-pin that jumps into the channel and lays on the 10. Here's a replay of that. Now watch the 6-pin jump into the channel. Boom, right there, sit. Now lay on the 10-pin.
He was happy to get that. He's been shaking his head. He's not really happy the way he's throwing that ball right now. He needs 9 pins for the victory. And Walter Ray Williams will move into the championship match against Ferraro. Roger Bowker, as we mentioned, having a very fine year, will go to better than $65,000 in money earned for 1988.
Now, here's what he is trying to do there, ladies and gentlemen. If you were wondering why he missed the 10-pin by 3 feet, it's because he was trying to line up for the next match. And by that, I mean he was throwing an experimental shot to the pocket to see if he could get a better angle, a better way to get the ball to strike.
Why not?
Nothing to lose, and it was a smart play. He's trying to get ready for Dave Ferraro because he knows Ferraro's going to give him a good match.
Strike in the 10th for Bowker. Walter Ray with a score of 179. First prize, $23,000 in this $135,000 Budweiser Touring Players Championship. Bowker's finishing it off in fine fashion.
Well, he made a lot of good shots in this match, Jay, and he just couldn't seem to carry the 10-pin. And when he tried to make any kind of adjustment, he got in trouble. I think the key to the match was in the 6th frame when he left the 10-pin, missed it, and that just opened it up for Walter Ray. He could relax, and Roger Bowker seemed to just kind of willed at that point, and the match was basically out of hand. Walter Ray put him back in the match in the 9th frame with that big split, but he closed it out the way he should, got the strike to win the match.
Bowker going all the way there in the 10th for 178. 179, though, for Walter Ray Williams. Williams to face Ferraro for the championship right after this.
Just when you thought you knew everything about trucks, Toyota changes all the rules. Introducing the all-new Toyota trucks, redesigned for '89. More V6 4x4 power, all-new optional on-the-move 4-wheel demand. And now, an available V6 4x2 for extra power when you need it. More inner space and comfort, and a new look that says one thing, Toyota quality. Toyota! Who could ask for anything more?
Oh, look at me back in the 60s, working up a sweat. Oh, and that's how I used to pump iron. Not today. Today we're exercising more and eating less red meat. But red meat is a great source of iron.
Only Kellogg's Bran Flakes has high fiber and 100% of the iron recommended today.
So now I pump a little iron outside and inside. You know, I haven't felt this good since I burned that bathing suit.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes.
Today's holiday wishes can come true with the hardware gift circular from True Value Hardware Stores, where you'll find this Sony portable AM radio for just $4.69, this First Alert rechargeable flashlight for only $7.99, and the colorful Ortho Christmas book for just $6.99. Or get this Master Mechanic professional palm grip sander for only $38.95 from participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
The game's high rollers
America's top bowlers.
in a high-stakes showdown.
Lisa Wagner.
Earl Anthony, Mark Roth, and Marshall Holman
Together they're the game's 10-pin terminators.
The bowling shootout.
Today, only on NBC. The Touring Players Championship at the Taylor Lanes, our final stop on the PBA's Fall Tour. We're happy to have you with us. This is a very special day for those of us who love bowling here on NBC Sports. A doubleheader of sorts, the Touring Players Championship, and we're getting set for the final match. And, of course, later this afternoon, the $100,000 shootout. The money increasing, going along, a similar format, somewhat similar to Golf Skins game. And you're involved in that, along with Mr. Roth and Marshall Holman and the lovely Lisa Wagner. And we hope you'll watch it. It's a very, very dandy little deal, I tell you that. Let's talk, Earl, a little bit about what has happened in '88. It's been a good year for the tour. The suit, of course, was settled, and things are looking very good down the road. And we, I guess, should take a statistical look at where we are right now in regard to the average leaders on tour. Roth, with all those strikes, again up on top.
He seems to strike forever. This is his 6th time he's led the PBA Tour in average, which is a new record.
The tournament's won. We've already alluded to the fact that Joe Berardi, of course, has been a 3-time winner. Voss had a chance to win 3, but went down to defeat here today. McCordick, Mark Williams with 2 there. And then, of course, there, Sam Macaron. We have the money, though. That really, I suppose, as you well know, is more important than anything else.
Well, that's what the players are here for. They're professional bowlers. They try to make a living throwing a bowling ball, and it's been a good year for a great many of them. A record-setting year, Jay. If you look at the money winnings on this year's tour.
Now, that does not include the money won today. Voss already a winner of $6,500 today. And you see the money list. It's been a very fine year for the tour, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to '89.
89 should be even bigger and better. Joe Antonora, as you know, has been extended a vote of confidence by the players, and with continuous commissioner, he's doing a great job.
You're going to continue to bowl a little bit on the senior tour?
Well, we'll see how my knees hold up, Jay. No commitments.
The championship match has Walter Ray Williams going up against the number 1 seed, Dave Ferraro. Walter Ray Williams Jr. will begin this championship match against Ferraro.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy is right.
What a way to begin.
Remember last week, Dave Ferraro led the tournament. Couldn't get anything going. Bowled a 193 game to lose. And you see Walter Ray Williams getting that early break. Watch the 2-pin get tripped forward. Our tournament leader.
And he was high. This is Dave's 6th championship round appearance of the year. 2nd in a row, as we've mentioned last week. Top seed at the Budweiser Classic in Columbus. Lost to Ron Williams in the title match, 242-193, and has got a little problem right off the bat.
This is a big problem, Jay. This is one of the most difficult spares, on the lane without it being split. Great cover. You can see the look of relief on Dave Ferraro's face. That's not the way you want to start a championship match, first frame, and try to give up something like that. That's great cover.
Ferraro, if he can tape down the top prize of $23,000, would move to over $160,000 on the year. High game this week was $289. There's the prize money in this Touring Players Championship.
Scrambled him. He did. Get him thin and watch him spin. This is what you call another good break. Walter Ray got to the good break in the first frame and on the same lane, and here Dave Ferraro comes back with almost the same hit.
Here are the 300 games this week. Walter Ray with the 300 game for the 2nd week in a row.
He's just using so much speed, Jay. When the ball, even though it seems to be rolling well, the pins are just jumping up in the air, going right over the top of the 10-pin that time. That's the only way he feels, evidently, that he can keep the ball in play in the pocket area. Switching balls for the spares, many of the players do. And he missed it. You won't see that very often.
No, sir.
The exact same thing that Roger Bowker did in the 6th frame of his match with Walter Ray. Goes to the line, he sends the ball wide a little bit, expecting it to grip the lane, and it slides off into the channel. Big break for Dave Ferraro early in the match. Good shot.
And a good result. That's the best ball Walter Ray has rolled so far in the 2 matches.
He didn't really try to overpower that when he got the ball into a good roll, gave it a little room, and it rolled up very strongly. Dave Ferraro now, 3rd frame on a strike.
Ferraro trying to win his 4th PBA title. Been a PBA member for 9 years.
Good shot there, leaving only the 4 pin. Dave Ferraro is comfortable now. He's lined up after that shot in the 1st frame, which went high and left a difficult spare. Here he is. He's made an adjustment. He likes the ball reaction. I expect him to be tough the rest of the way of the match. Walter Ray Williams is going to have to get something going early to beat this man this week.
Well, I know that you're well aware, most of our listeners are, that bowling was an exhibition sport at the Seoul Olympics. All of us at NBC very proud, of course, of the job at Seoul, and now we're looking forward, of course, to Barcelona 1992. We hope that bowling will be included. It should be most interesting time for the sports fans in the world. It'll be challenging and interesting for all of us at NBC Sports.
Tell me, is bullfighting going to be one of the medal sports there, Jay?
I don't think so.
Don't think so?
You wanna enter that event?
No, I don't think so. Dave Ferraro, as you remember in the 2nd frame, was light on the head pin, carried that scrambler that Jay mentioned, came back with an adjustment, went through the middle of the head pin, left only the 6-10. Walter Ray Williams a chance to even up the match. 4th frame.
Oh boy, a lot of power in that. 2 in a row for Walter Ray. He's rooting it on. Even Steven in the early going. Walter Ray. 3 in a row. This big crowd. It's a very knowledgeable crowd here at the Taylor Lanes. They were here early this morning. Ferraro strikes on 40.
Another unique style. We've had several different styles today. You remember Roger Bowker with the 3 quick steps at the foul line. Take a good look at this one. Plant the foot, pull the ball through. Tremendous lift on the ball. Watch the ball make the left turn at the back. There it is. That's why he carried that hit. If you can get the ball to rotate that hard into the pocket area, you're going to carry most of those.
Hope you're enjoying this uninterrupted final match coverage. An NBC Sports exclusive on the PBA Fall Tour.
You can see the look of frustration or exasperation, whatever you want to call it, on Dave Ferraro's face there. He felt he rolled the ball well, threw it where he wanted to throw it, left the 4 pin, the ball just finished very strong. Now watch him. He knows he made a good shot. And you can see that the flip of the hand there. What do I have to do to get a strike?
Williams at the moment up by 10. Mentioned Barcelona in 92. NBC will have the Olympic coverage. 2 veterans of Seoul here working with us today. Our producer Glenn Adamo and Brian Snipe, our director. 10 for Williams. doing our thank yous, Earl. Great to work with our production crew, all the folks at Bud Sports, Frank Ellenberg, Ann Fink, James Devine, Kevin Shank. That's the second time for him, and earlier we saw Bowker do that. What the world's going on over there?
No, I am shocked. I never thought I'd ever see Walter Ray Williams miss 2 10-pins in the same game. And I talked to Walter Ray during the practice before the telecast, and he said, I missed 2 10-pins this week, and that very seldom happens. But he missed 2 in one game. That's going to be working on his mind a little bit here.
It's got to be. He comes right back on 39. This is the second consecutive tournament sponsored by Budweiser, Fall Tour, sponsored 289 Winter Tour tournaments. The Budweiser Classic down at Don Carter's Kendall Lanes in Miami. The Budweiser Open at the Buckeye Lanes in North Olmsted, Ohio. Get there.
Oh, what a break that was. The 1-2-10 standing momentarily, and it would have been a disastrous time for that. We're getting late in the match. 7th frame action at this point. You see the ball coming behind it. He really got this one down the lane and never had a chance to grip the lane and get back to the pocket area. Easy spare here for Dave Ferraro. He can actually use it to line up for the pocket if he wishes to. Crosses the spare perfectly. 1 pin separate these 2 champions at this point. Late in the match, again, as I mentioned, 8th frame, Dave Ferraro on a spare. And again, the frustration on his face now. Dave, he just doesn't understand what's going on out there. He's making good shots. He knows he's rolling the ball where and the way he wants to. He's comfortable with his release. The ball just doesn't react the way he expects to. That ball should have hooked up to the pocket, in his estimation. Didn't quite get there. It's almost like if you were trying to shoot baskets or free throws, Jay, and someone keeps moving the basket on you when the ball's in the air. You just don't know how to make an adjustment for it.
He got a real fine break there, as it looked for a moment like he might be facing a split down there. Leaves the 4-7.
Both players struggling, neither one comfortable with the lane reaction. They both feel they're making good shots. And as the lanes have changed throughout the day, no one has been able to figure them out. It's amazing. All the players on the telecast today, Jay, are experienced professionals. They've been in this situation before. And as the lanes have changed, they've never made the adjustments.
And I think that surprised you, because most of the time at this level of play, we see them make the adjustments correctly. But they haven't been able to find the key here.
They haven't. And if anyone should be able to do it, it's this man right here.
Got the job done there.
And that was an important one, Jay. At this point, the match is dead even.
If we would have a tie, we'd have a 2-frame roll-off.
I like this one.
Well, he should.
Great shot. And what an opportune time to get it. The match is dead even, going into the 10th frame. Both players on strikes, both going at a 195 pace. Anything can happen. We could have a tie, Jay, as you mentioned. Here we go. Good look at Dave Ferraro's form. The concentration, the great ball reaction. Boom. 10 in the pit.
Well, the Touring Players Championship, final stop on the PBA Fall Tour, coming down to the 10th frame for these two.
Just like the shootout.
Mm-hmm. That's coming up later.
Oh, yes. Remember, no matter what Dave Ferraro does, even if he goes all the way, gets all 3 strikes in the 10th for 215, Walter Ray Williams still has a chance to tie, and he can't afford to miss.
Ferraro, who qualified first last week, didn't get the job done. That has to be preying on him a little here to get the chance 2 weeks in a row to play from the top spot. Walter Ray Williams. Can he win it?
Oh, a big break. Somebody said one more, Dave, and down they went. All right, now this shot coming up is just as important as the other two. Remember, 215 is his maximum score. As you see the pin action, the head pin going to the sideboards, kicking out the 8th pin and the last pin to go. And the reaction of Dave Ferraro, he knows he has to have this one, because if he doesn't, Walter Ray Williams can beat him by 1 pin if he strikes out. Walter Ray Williams talking to himself. Last week he needed a strike to win his match, didn't get it. This week he's on the tougher of the 2 lanes in the 10th frame. He left the door open, Jay.
Yes, he did.
And 212. 212. All right, Walter Ray Williams to win the Touring Players Championship. You see a replay of Dave Ferraro's last ball. A little bit extra speed, the ball slides by the head pin. Walter Ray Williams needs 2 strikes and 8 pins to win.
He can't do it, and Ferraro is going to pull down $23,000.
And it's been a great fall tour for Dave Ferraro, and he led last week and lost, as you see his reaction to the shot by Walter Ray Williams to win the championship.
For Ferraro, his 4th career title.
And he's really a nice young man, Jay. Great person. Everybody on the tour likes Dave Ferraro.
As they do Walter Ray Williams, another real nice guy. 2 nice guys going at it. Somebody had to lose. Somebody had to win.
Ferraro at 212. Williams at 195. There's the Touring Players Champion. And we'll be back to pass out the prize money right after this.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
Mark! Hey, Mark! I see you got one of those rhinos. Next thing you know, he's going to tell us it's got horns.
Unleash your game. Roll a rhino. The Rhino from Brunswick, a urethane ball designed for professional and high-performance bowlers.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Roger out. We're all enjoying the Radio Shack Space Patrol walkie-talkies we got for Christmas. I use mine to keep in touch with my backyard explorers. The flexible antennas handle rugged play, and the kids love them because they can talk or send secret messages in Morse code. It's right on the front. Okay, kids, I'm finished. Oh.
Space Patrol walkie-talkies from $9.95, only at Radio Shack.
Relive the greatest moments on ice.
From the World Professional Figure Skating Championships.
A Christmas Day special for the entire family.
Only on NBC.
The Touring Players Championship goes to Dave Ferraro. He wins it over Walter Ray Williams and takes down the top prize before this big crowd. Here are the results of the Tournament Players Championship in Taylor, Michigan, as Ferraro comes away the winner 212 to 195. A reminder that coming up next next, of course, the bowling shootout, the second half of our bowling doubleheader, and also the boxing. That's next. But first, let's get to the presentation and our champion. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Dave Ferraro. Nice going.
Thank you, Jay.
I know that when you qualified first last week, and you qualified first again this week, that you probably put a lot of pressure on yourself. You wanted to get the job done on this final event of the fall tour.
Well, last week was a little disappointing, but this makes up for it all.
Well, John Conte, a compadre of yours right over here, the division manager for Michigan of Anheuser-Busch, will present the Budweiser trophy.
Thank you. I want to, on behalf of Budweiser in the state of Michigan and all the Budweiser people in the state, including our Michigan wholesalers and all the bowlers, I understand this is your second Budweiser trophy to win. It's certainly a pleasure to present this to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Conte. I'd like to thank Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch and also Adeline DiBiase and everybody here at Taylor Lanes. It's been a great week.
Well, we can thank Adeline right now because she's got the money. Adeline, come right in.
Here's the phony, and here's the real.
There we go. $23,000. Earl, let's get you to come in and talk a little bit about the scoring here today. It was tough going, wasn't it?
It wasn't what I expected, Jay. Watching the players warm up, obviously they were making good shots and they were throwing a lot of strikes. The lanes do change, as you know, during the telecast. There's a lot of pressure on the leader coming over. He has to wait through all those other matches. I had one question, and a lot of people at home never going to be in the position you were in today, Dave. Sitting on the bench, waiting for another player to decide your fate. What was going through your mind at that point when Walter Ray needed 2 strikes and 8 pins to beat you?
Well, it's nerve-wracking. When you come in for the last game, I think you're a little more jittery than if you do win the game before because you're a little looser then and you have some idea what the lanes are going to do. And the lanes did change. They got considerably tighter the last game considering to when I practiced. So I just was fortunate to make a couple of good shots at the end and luckily enough to strike.
Dave, it's been a very fine fall tour for you. A nice early Christmas present here.
Yeah, this week caps it all off.
Why any feeling about why you've been going so good? You're picking up your second title of the year here?
Well, I don't know if it's any one reason. The way they're doing the lanes now, I think I like. And
you like the spray gun, huh?
I think so. A couple weeks ago, I don't know, I might have liked the machine, but
I think you both better hurt, Dave, with that bad wrist.
Yeah, right.
All right, there he is, your touring players champion, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Ferraro takes down the crown in Taylor, Michigan. The PBA Fall Tour has been sponsored by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Brunswick, proud sponsor of Team USA. By Western Union, the fastest way to send money. And by Kodacolor Gold Film. Show your true colors. This has been a presentation of Bud Sports and the PBA Incorporated in association with NBC Sports.